What is motivation? Motivation is the factor that drives you to take action or make choices. It is the element that creates motive. A motive is understood as an inner drive within each individual that compels a person to act, such as instinct, passion, emotions, habits, moods, desires, or ideas. Motivation can be seen as hope or another kind of force that initiates action with the effort to achieve a specific result. Motivate yourself and inspire others to act. Once you understand the principles that can motivate you, you will also understand the principles that can motivate others. Likewise, when you understand what motivates others, you will also better understand what motivates yourself. Motivating yourself and others with a positive attitude is the purpose of this book. Our purpose in presenting examples of other people's successes and failures is to motivate you to take decisive action. Develop the habit of motivating yourself with a positive attitude. Then you will be able to direct your thoughts, control your emotions, and shape your destiny. Motivate yourself and others with a magical formula. What is that formula? One man discovered it. Here's his story. This man had been a successful cosmetics manufacturer, and he decided to retire at the age of 65. Every year on his birthday, relatives and friends would ask him to reveal the secret of his success. Time after time, he politely refused. On his 75th birthday, his friends once again made the same request. He replied, "You have all been very kind to me over the years. Because of that, today I have decided to share my secret with you. You see, besides the formulas already used by other cosmetics companies, I added my own special ingredient." Everyone asked, "What was that secret?" "I never promised women that my cosmetics would make them more beautiful, but I always gave them hope. Hope is the magical formula. Hope is the human desire to reach a goal and the belief that the goal can certainly be achieved. People often respond based on what they desire, believe in, and think they can attain. Hope motivated this cosmetics manufacturer to build his success. Hope motivated women to buy cosmetics, and hope will motivate you too. 10 basic motives can inspire you. Every thought or action, even spontaneous ones, originates from one or more combined motives. Below are 10 basic motives that can inspire every human thought or action. When learning how to motivate yourself or others for any purpose, you need to clearly understand these 10 basic motives, including 1. The desire for self-preservation. 2. The feeling of love. 3. The emotion of fear. 4. Sexual emotion. 5. The desire for life after death, immortality. 6. The desire for physical and mental freedom. 7. The emotion of anger. 8. The emotion of hatred. 9. The desire for recognition and self-expression. 10. The desire for material wealth. What can you do to control your emotions? Humans are the only members of the living world who possess this special ability. Through the power of awareness, people can actively control their emotions from within instead of allowing outside factors to dominate them. Only humans can consciously change the way they react to external influences. The more cultured, modern, and civilized you become, the easier it is to control your emotions and feelings if you truly want to do so. Emotions are controlled through the combination of reason and action. But how? In this chapter and the next, you will learn how to control your emotions and actions by using self-motivational statements. At the same time, always think about what you want and forget about what you do not want. This is a formula that consistently brings success. Are you one of the hundreds of thousands of people around the world who have read the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, or one of the tens of thousands who have read How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Becker? If the answer is no, we strongly encourage you to read these 2 books. They introduce a formula that always brings success when applied with a positive attitude. In his autobiography, Benjamin Franklin explained that he worked hard to help his friend named Benjamin Franklin, just as the most important person in your life is trying to help you. He wrote in modern language, "My plan was to practice all these virtues. I believed it was better not to try to master them all at once, but instead to focus on one habit at a time. After mastering one habit, I would move on to the next, and continue in this way until I possessed all 12 successful habits. One habit would make it easier to develop the next. Here are the 12 habits listed by Franklin. 1. Temperance. Eat not to excess. Drink not to intoxication. 2. Silence. Speak only what benefits yourself or others. Avoid meaningless conversations. 3. Order. Put everything in its proper place. Allocate appropriate time for each task. 4. Resolution. Resolve to do what ought to be done. Never fail to complete what you have resolved to do. 5. Frugality. Spend nothing on useless things for yourself or others. Waste nothing. 6. Industry. Never waste time. Always stay busy doing something useful. Avoid unnecessary activities. 7. Sincerity. Do not deceive or harm others. Think honestly and speak truthfully. 8. Justice. Do no wrong by hurting others. Never neglect responsibilities that are your duty. 9. Moderation. Avoid extreme reactions. Restrain anger and resentment that make us harm. 10. Cleanliness. Do not tolerate dirtiness in your body, clothes, or home. 11. Tranquility. Do not be disturbed by small matters, accidents, or unavoidable events. 12. Humility. Follow the humble example of Socrates, the great philosopher of ancient Greece. Now you understand the method that Benjamin Franklin used to help his friend. Benjamin Franklin, in other words, to help himself. You should study Franklin's method as well as the way he applied his principles of success. Next, let us look at the story of the man who produced the first Fuller brush. Alfred C. Fuller came from a poor farming family in Nova Scotia. During his first working years, all seemed unable to keep a job, losing employment 3 times. But then a major change occurred. He tried selling brushes. From the very beginning, Fuller felt excited about the work. He gradually realized that his first 3 jobs had not suited him. He simply did not enjoy them. He discovered that he could become excellent at selling, because he truly loved the work. More than that, all became determined to become the greatest salesman in the world. And he achieved that goal. After succeeding in sales, he set an even higher goal in order to climb to new levels of success. That goal was to start his own business. This ambition perfectly matched Fuller's personality. Alfred C. Fuller handed over his brush-selling job to someone else with great excitement. At night, he made brushes for himself, and the next day he went out to sell them. As sales gradually increased, he rented an old warehouse for $11 a month and hired an assistant. The assistant handled brush production so Fuller could focus entirely on selling. And what was the result? Fuller Brush Company became a major company with thousands of salespeople and millions of dollars in annual revenue. As you can see, you are more likely to succeed when you devote effort to work that comes naturally to you and that you genuinely enjoy. However, there are still many other factors that can motivate you to succeed in business. The desire for self-preservation is considered one of the most important motivations on that list. 7 times through the challenge, Captain Edward V. Rickenbacker was one of the most successful and beloved men in America. Captain Eddie, as people affectionately called him, became a symbol of faith, loyalty, passion for work, and many other admirable qualities. Anyone who met him, listened to his speeches, or read his book, 7 came through found inspiration and motivation within themselves. One time the airplane Captain Eddie was piloting crashed into the Pacific Ocean. During the first week, the rescue team could not find a single piece of wreckage or any bodies. The second week passed in the same way, but the entire world was astonished when news arrived that Captain Eddie had been rescued alive on the 21st day of the search. Imagine Captain Eddie and his crew sitting on 3 small rafts, drifting endlessly at sea with nothing around them except sky and water. Imagine their fear as the plane crashed into the ocean, and the hunger and thirst they endured for many days beneath the burning sun in the middle of the sea. In his book, Captain Eddie wrote, "As I have stated before, I never lost faith that I would eventually be rescued. However, the others did not seem to feel the same way. They began thinking about death. I can honestly say that I never doubted whether I would survive. I tried to share this belief with the others, hoping it would give them courage. I simply reasoned that the longer we endured the ordeal, the greater our chances of being rescued would become. If you ask how to motivate yourself, we would list the basic human motives. First comes the desire for self-preservation, followed by the emotions of love and fear. Then comes the desire to continue living, followed by physical and mental freedom. After that come anger and hatred, then the desire for recognition and self-expression. Finally on the list is the desire for wealth.